Welcome to Conversations Live. For more than a decade, we've brought you the best in books, entertainment, celebrity interviews, and current events. When the movers and shakers of the world have something to say to you, they say it to us first. Here's your host, Cyrus Webb.
And welcome back, everyone, to Conversations Live. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again, but for a radio audience here in Mississippi at WYAD 94.1 FM and WYADonline.com. We're glad that you all could be with us. Also joining us through our friends at iHeartRadio and Amazon Music Podcast. We're glad to have all of you with us as well. Whereas we're coming up on the end of the year, a lot of people are still struggling, either from the beginning of the pandemic or just challenges they face this year. Our next guest is someone who's been able to find success for themselves, but also been able to create avenues for individuals to be able to also find some security as well. We're excited to welcome back entrepreneur Khalid Parekh to our program. We're going to talk to him not only about what he's been able to do with fair banking, but also how it's been able to help individuals, especially those struggling financially, to be able to see some type of relief and hope for themselves. Khalid, hello to you, and welcome back to the program.
Thanks for having me on the show again. Pleasure.
Hey, the pleasure is definitely all mine. You shared some valuable information with us last time, Khalid. Had some really good response from our radio audience here in Mississippi about what you mentioned about housing. But the financial difficulties, even though there has been some relief for some and things are opening up, there's still some who are really finding it to be difficult right now for them. What have you found, Khalid, when it comes to why so many Americans are falling behind right now?
So, Cyrus, you're absolutely right. We are transitioning away from post-COVID, a lot of people, still unemployed or getting back into the job market. But what's really causing the grief with a lot of people is two things. Number one is most of the people during the pandemic and post-pandemic, they depleted all their savings because they needed the cash to survive. The second thing that is affecting people is inflation. So the current market census is that inflation is between 3 to 4%. So think about this. If you have $100 in your bank account this year, that same $100 next year is equal to $97, right? So people just having the money in the bank account is losing the value for the dollar. So, what we did at FAIR, which is we are a bank that is created by engineers for consumers. We are not bankers. We are just average people like you and I, but we created a regulated FDIC bank where we have this only in America. We're the only bank in America that's offering this, where we are giving you a 4% annual dividend account to cover your inflation cost, meaning that typically if you park your money in a savings account, typical banks give you 25 basis points, 30 basis points for the whole year. FAIR is giving you 16 times the industry average to 4%, which allows you to easily beat inflation, plus the money is fully liquid, fully insured, and it allows the person to create a little bit of wealth as they continue to get back on their feet to get to the next level, of going back to work.
Yeah. Wow, that's amazing that you all have been able to do that with FAIR, and I know it's been able to help others as well, Khalid. So I want to talk about the current banking system, because what you've been able to create with FAIR is definitely unique. Why have you found that the current traditional banking system has failed so many?
Well, if you go back to centuries, back to 1800s, banking works on two major principles: deposits and loans. Our traditional banks ask you to open up an account with them and deposit money in their account. They charge you $12 to $15 a month just to do account maintenance so they can manage your money on one side. But on the flip side, they take your money and they loan it out to businesses and other enterprises, and they earn 5 to 6% interest, which they don't share back with the consumers. They keep 95% of that, and if a consumer does have a savings account, they might get 0.25 basis points. So that in itself is a broken system where they are using the people's money to have their private benefit. That's why if you ever look at Wall Street, you will always see, like this year, banks are making billions and billions of dollars in profits because of the all that money was parked in the banks, which they loaned out for PPP and other departments.
And again, this is information that I think our audience may not think about, Khalid, which is why we're so glad to have you here to talk about it. I introduced you at the beginning of the segment as an entrepreneur, but technology is a very big part of your own journey in business, as well as what you've been able to do with FAIR. So talk to us about that. What does the financial system technology have to offer to improve the situation that so many Americans are in?
Here, I'll give you a starting example, right? As an engineer, we are programmed to solve problems. I'm an Indian immigrant that came to the U.S. with $100 in my pocket, and today we are a $350 million technology company. But what I realized is this: if you have a couple $100,000 in your bank account, banks will roll out the red carpet for you. They will give you access to the highest sophisticated financial investment tool, allowing you to make a lot of wealth. But what happens to the guy that has a couple $1,000s in his bank account? Nobody even talks to him. Nobody wants to cater to him. So we are basically disrupting that by creating a FAIR's, robo-advisor system, implementing technology with artificial intelligence, machine learning. And what we are doing is we giving the same level of high sophisticated financial products that allow people to earn wealth, whether you have $10 in your bank account or $1 million in your bank account. To us, you are a consumer. We don't make money on fees. We are not a traditional bank where we make money on people's money. We are a subscription-based bank where our job, think of like Costco for banking. Our job is to give the best products for every single member that walks into our doors.
And that's why, for those who are not familiar with fair banking, Khalid, we're glad to have you back again to talk about it. Again, everyone, we've been able to have technology entrepreneur Khalid Parekh to our program. Khalid is talking to us not only about what he's been able to do with fair banking, but also addressing the issues we see today with so many that are struggling financially, and how they can be able to see some relief and some help here as well. So, Khalid, how can our audience find out more information if they're just finding out about fair banking and the work that you do? How can they find out more information?
Yeah, so just go to www.bankwithfair.com. Our mission is in our name, right? So it's bankwithfair.com.
Khalid, thank you so much again for the work that you're doing and for coming back on the program, and looking forward to speaking with you again.
Likewise. Thank you, Cyrus. You have a great day.
You as well, man. And we thank your audience for tuning in to another great segment of Conversations Live, part of our News You Can Use segment. Until next time, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Live. Now let's go make today amazing. Take care.